I got the bloodlust. Me too. I want to kill. Let's kill.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to The Bloodlust. This is your go-to podcast for classy broads talking horror since 2014. This is episode 286 of the program. Tonight we are talking about Cuckoo, starring Dan Stevens and Hunter Schafer. My name is Amy. I am your fearless leader, joined as always by my lovely and talented co-host, Kay.
I just put my little hands underneath my chin to say, who, me?
You're
It's me, Kay.
itching for this to be a visual podcast.
Who, me? This guy?
Listeners, we are thinking about doing some video episodes. So if you're interested in that, we would love to hear your opinion.
I swear to God, if we don't get one more review,
I know. Jesus
then
H.
no, you don't get to see my little face.
And welcome, of course, to Boss, whose little nails are clippy-clopping all over the floor in here.
Yeah, because they're freshly shorn.
Yeah. Oh, his favorite thing to do. Listeners, guess what we get to do next weekend? It's very exciting.
I don't know.
We're going to see a movie in a cemetery.
I did know. I did know.
You did know.
Yeah.
And not just any movie, but one of the scariest movies of all time, and one of my favorite horror movies, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm very excited about that. I have seen a movie in a cemetery before, because I saw... What did I see when I went? I saw The Shining at Hollywood Forever Cemetery in LA.
I have not, and I still cannot decide if it's going to be like a blanket and pillow kind of snug situation, or if it's going to be like bringing the camping chairs situation.
They said camp chairs recommended or a blanket. I would just imagine it's going to be cold, so it'll be better to sit a little off the ground. But I don't know. We can bring both and figure it out.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited about that, listeners. If you live in the Detroit area, it's October 4th, if you want to go.
Yeah. Come watch a spooky thing.
One of the spookiest things ever.
In the spookiest places.
Yeah. And it's a historical cemetery. A nice old cemetery. So it'll be cool. Very excited about that. Other than that, not a whole lot going on around here. It is the beginning of spooky season, and I'm very excited about that.
That's right.
We also saw One Battle After Another yesterday in IMAX, and that was very good.
That screen was so big.
Yeah, it's a really big screen.
It's insane. Technology, my guy.
And it was a really good movie to see on that big screen. It had a lot of cool shots. The driving through the desert scenes were wonderful. I definitely recommend you see that. Not that it has anything to do with horror, but...
No horror, but it was very good.
Yes, it was. So, are we ready to do some horror homework?
Yeah.
As we are wont to do, listeners, we are catching Kay up on the wonderful world of horror. And I've given them a long list of homework movies.
You know what? We finally made it into the 90s.
These movies were released after Kay was born, so that's something.
One of them.
Yeah.
Not both of them yet, but one of them.
Oh, yeah.
One was 86.
Oh, these were both 86.
No, one of them said 90.
It wasn't released till 90.
Well, okay. I wasn't born yet.
No, I guess not yet. But we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting into the 90s. So, the first movie we watched was Manhunter, which is a prequel to The Silence of the Lambs, which was made before Silence of the Lambs, also based on a book by Thomas Harris.
The Red Dragon.
That's right. And directed by Michael Mann, who you might know from Ferrari, from Ali, from Heat, from Last of the Mohicans. It is currently available on Prime and Canopy. Kay, tell us about this movie.
All right. So we've got Will Graham. He's pulled out of early retirement to chase a new lead. After promising that he will only find the Tooth Fairy and not, I repeat, not go after said killer, he leaves his wife and child at home after he's just barely recovered from a mental breakdown from falling apart from Hannibal Lecter's takedown. Will decides to have a chitty-chat with Mr. Lecter and tries to get into the mind of the Tooth Fairy. But dun dun dun, the Tooth Fairy is also in contact with Lecter. Meanwhile, the Tooth Fairy starts falling for a blind coworker, and there's a long scene where there's a tiger that's getting teeth cleaned, and the lovebirds get to snug with the giant kitty cat. Just when you think there might be a redemption arc for the Tooth Fairy, nay. Him and the woman do not work out.
Shocker.
The police find a correspondence between the Tooth Fairy and Hannibal Lecter on toilet paper hidden in a book, and we get a fair amount of scientific information about the difference between a ballpoint pen versus a felt tip pen. They end up breaking the bestie serial killer code sent to one another and realize that they are sanctioning a hit on Will's family. Will ends up heading home, further broken down from getting into another serial killer's head.
Yeah, so it's kind of similar to The Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah. In general, I really did like the movie. 90% of the movie I liked. It's just that they treated me like a dum-dum, and I fucking hate that.
Why do you think they treated you like a dum-dum?
They just had Will giving so much information just in a monologue throughout the movie. It was just like everything that he thought, he just had to say it to the camera so that the audience knew.
Yeah.
Oh, you stood here and you watched them, didn't you? You did this, whatever. And he's just like saying it to the audience.
Right.
And it drove me insane.
I think that the director struggled to find a way to make it clear that he was like a criminal profiler, you know, where he figured things out based on getting in the minds of the characters. And I think that was his attempt to try and give that, you know, let us in on it. And I don't think it works well. I think you're right.
I think that he was a good criminal profiler. I think that anyone that has seen like Criminal Minds or any of the like newer TV shows would understand it. It probably just wasn't around.
I think that's the thing. Yeah, because this was one of the first, those Thomas Harris books were some of the first ones that really talked about like criminal profiling and stuff.
Sure.
They also do some stuff that has since been debunked in this, like all the bite mark stuff, because the guy's name is the Tooth Fairy because he wears like false teeth and he bites the character, or he bites his victims, and so that's why they haven't been able to catch him, even though now we know that bite mark evidence is bullshit.
Bullshit anyways.
Right.
Let alone having a set of dentures that you're biting with.
Right.
But I did really like the little case that he had the dentures in.
Mm-hmm. And what about the wardrobes in this? It's very 80s fabulous. It's interesting to me that almost every single character in this movie, except for the two bad guys, have curly hair.
Yeah. No, you said that, but that doesn't really shock me that much because I feel like the 80s was a time for perms.
And I think that's exactly right. I think some of these characters might have had curly hair anyway, and then a lot of people had perms because it was the 80s. Because my dad had a perm in the 80s. Did you know that?
That's just a thing that they did.
But that tickled me. Also, the costumes were ridiculous.
We can't all have beautiful curly hair like you, baby.
Well, it's a gift. It's a gift. I forget who the costume designer is in this. I think Colleen Atwood, who I believe was the same costume designer, is in One Battle After Another, which we watched yesterday. And there's some really funky outfits. Really 80s funky outfits. It looks like a Lisa Frank Trapper Keeper in a lot of the scenes. And the killer's house.
I don't understand what the problem is here, babe.
No problem. No problem at all. It just made, like, Miami Vice seem mild.
And then they kept that poor blind person there. It was just like, hi, the house is 90% glass. Good luck.
It's weird, too. And I told you this, but listeners, they remade this movie and called it Red Dragon, which is the name of the book, with Ralph Fiennes as the bad guy. In the original, it's Tom... It's not Tom Holland. That's Tom Holland is... Spider-Man, right?
You know I don't know people.
Well, anyway, it's this big, tall actor who's in a lot of horror movies. And I think Ralph Fiennes is a really good bad guy. He's a lot more sympathetic in the remake. In this, he's just like kind of an egotistical douchebag. And you don't really know too much about him. I think they do a better job in the remake of that. Also, the tiger scene in this, as you point out, has absolutely no preamble. Obviously, it was in the book and they wanted to include it. They do a better job in Red Dragon of making that fit into the movie and making their like relationship a little bit more developed.
It didn't make sense, but it did make me want them to be together. I did think like maybe he could find love and maybe he's done killing.
Right.
But no. But not even close.
So that's Manhunter. What do you rate it?
I give it a 4.
Give it a 4?
I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been a 5 for me if they didn't treat me so dumb, but I am giving them more grace now that we talked about. Well, they were probably one of the first to do it.
To do profiling, yeah. I was thinking about the Hannibal TV show that I've only seen a couple of episodes of, but they do a little trick with the guy who plays Will Graham in that, and they have him like go to the crime scene, and as he's standing there, they show it where you can see the victims and stuff in the crime scene, and it kind of like puts him in, and that's how they visualize it for you of him getting into the mind of the killer.
Sure.
And I don't even think that works that great. I feel like
it's better a book. Sometimes
it's better as a book, yeah.
Sometimes it's better as a book.
But then again, look at Silence of the Lambs. They do a great job with that.
Yeah.
Some of it, though, in Silence of the Lambs, they had Clarice's friend, and they have her talk it out.
Right.
And she spends a lot more time with Lecter getting that stuff out in dialogue than Will Graham does. He's only with Lecter for, like, 2 scenes.
I wanted him to be with Lecter more.
Yeah.
For sure. Especially after they figured out the code between them.
Yeah.
Like, I know that Lecter would have been like...
excited to talk about it with him.
Oh, what? You found this? Did you find this? Because I definitely left it in a book for you to find, and I took out the part that I didn't want you to see, of course.
Yeah. Which was clever, and I liked the stuff he did with, like, the telephone to figure out his address and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Good movie.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah.
And then we watched another serial killer movie, Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. This was made in 1986, did not come out till 1990. It was made by John McNaughton, who I guess is most famous for this and Wild Things. Honestly, if I would have watched both of these movies and you asked me, without knowing anything about either of the directors, which one of them went on to become huge, I would have probably said John McNaughton. Just based on how much he did with how little money he had. But the interesting thing about this movie is that it was originally, when he was given like the go-ahead to make it, he was asked to make a teen slasher. Or, a killer slasher to go along with, this is 86, all that stuff was huge at that time.
You know what he didn't do? Make a teen slasher.
Sure didn't, babe. Sure didn't. It's a much different tone. This is also available on Prime only, so you have to watch it with ads, unfortunately. Tell us what this one's about.
All right. Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Henry is a murderer out of prison, living with Otis, with whom he met in prison. Otis's sister, Becky, comes to stay at the apartment, needing a break from her husband and child at home. Her brother gives her peeks into the roommate's life about how he killed his mother, but that was just because of the humiliation that she made him endure as a child. No big deal. Becky and Henry swap stories of their abuse in adolescence, and romance is in the air. However, a jealous brother is not having it and wants to keep Becky all to himself. The two men just love murdering, and the killing spree begins. Now Otis has a taste for blood, and he's hooked and ends up turning on his sister, Henry helps Becky kill Otis and dismember him. Another happily ever after. Nope. Turned to murder. Henry takes out Becky and leaves her dismembered body into her own suitcase on the side of the road.
Like so much trash.
Trash.
It doesn't seem like a lot goes on in this. It is just a portrait of a guy. What'd you think?
It's horrifying. I mean, the amount that all of them had to endure in their life, no wonder they're fucking serial killers.
Right.
No wonder they all want to murder.
It's just a really dark, nobody has a good life. It's very gritty, very realistic, based on a true story. I thought it was very loosely based on the story of Henry Lee Lucas and Otis Toole, but it sure seems, based on what I read today, to be a lot closer than I thought it was to what actually happened in his life, including the abuse at the hands of his mom, his dad committing suicide, losing his legs. Some of the stuff that they did change was that Becky, instead of being Otis's adult sister, was his 10-year-old cousin.
Yeah, I really like the way that the movie has you hating Henry from the start.
Hating Otis from the start.
No.
Okay,
hating
go on.
Henry. So you start and you have 7 deaths within the first half an hour.
Right.
Just all of these women just murdered. And there's close-ups of, like, these gruesome murders.
But they don't actually show him killing anyone until halfway through the movie.
Right.
You just see the aftermath, and they play the audio, which I thought was cool.
So you think you are going to hate the serial killer, but then you hate the roommate so much more.
Because he's such a fucking creep.
Oh, my God. I loved this movie for how much I hated every single character.
Yeah. This one, I remember, I think this is a testament to how jaded and desensitized I am. Because when I first watched this, I found it incredibly disturbing. And
we put it off for multiple days because Babe's like, I'm not in the mood for that movie. Nope, I'm not in the mood for that movie.
Right. It's a lot more tame than I remember it, although this is one of the movies for which NC-17 was created. Apparently, they said, we're going to rate this X. He said, what can I cut to make it an R? And they said, there's no way. They just said no.
Literally nothing. It's just the whole thing. It's the whole damn thing.
I think it's very interesting how little violence is shown on screen. There is a bit, there's some towards the end, but most of it is showing you the aftermath.
Right. Yeah, it's not the physical act of violence.
Not until halfway through, anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
But God damn it.
And I think that
Henry seems sweet compared to Otis.
Yeah.
Which is wild. Insane.
Which is wild. And I don't think that's how it was in real life, but I think that it was a good way to frame the movie.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy this one. I think I like this one a little bit more than Manhunter.
Yeah, this one's getting a 4.5 from me.
I would probably give it the same. Manhunter 3.5, 4. And then this one like a 4.5. And it kind of made me want to watch Wild Things again, because what Wild Things has in common with Henry is the griminess of it. It's more polished, lots more money. Henry was only made for like $100,000. But Wild Things, it does have that sleaziness, which I like.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many cringy scenes of just like, stop it.
I think that the scenes that are my favorite in this are the ones with the video camera, when they get the video camera and
those
Otis
are the exact ones that I'm thinking about, that I'm like, stop it.
And he just watches him over and over and over again.
Even with Sister Dancing, you could feel how creepy it is. Because Henry's the one recording it to start, and her brother is the one that's like, come and just dance up on her.
Yeah. Yes, I think that this is a really formative movie that influenced a lot of things that came after, for sure. So that has been our horror homework for this episode, Manhunter and Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer. Let us know your thoughts on these movies if you have seen them. If not, I think we recommend both of them.
Yeah, go watch them. Be scarred like us.
Also, I'd be interested in hearing your opinion, listeners, on Manhunter versus Red Dragon. I know a lot of people like Red Dragon. I mean, like Manhunter a lot better. It's generally considered to be the better of the two movies. I have a weird bias against the 80s and 90s because it's decades that I actually lived through, and I don't have nostalgia for them in the way that I think a lot of people do. So I'm sort of biased against movies that came out in the 80s and 90s. So I acknowledge that.
I did ask for a Red Dragon to be added to the list, and we are already in the 90s, so...
Well, Red Dragon didn't come out till the 2000s.
Oh, I thought you said it was 90s.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
So we got some time on that.
We got
but we'll watch it.
time. Yeah.
So, for our next horror homework movies, we are getting into the 90s fully with a psychological thriller and a horror comedy. We are starting with Jacob's Ladder from 1990 that was directed by Adrian Lyne and is available on Canopy. Jacob's Ladder also stars a very young Macaulay Culkin.
I can't wait.
So that hooked Kay.
I love him.
Yes.
Did I tell you that I saw him
in his pizza band?
Pizza Underground?
Yes.
And he brought so many pizzas, and everyone in the audience just got to munch on pizza while we watched him sing about pizza. God. I miss New York.
Yeah. Good times. And then we're going to watch Cemetery Man, directed by Michele Soavi in 1994, also on Canopy. It's made by an Italian director with, I think, all Italian actors in Italy, and then also Rupert Everett.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
But I'm excited to introduce you to Rupert Everett because I think you'll like him. So look forward to those if you have Canopy, and I hope you do, listeners. Get a library card. It's free. I mean, come on. Your tax money pays for it anyway.
Yeah, you're already paying for it.
That's right. Okay, I'm ready to start talking about Cuckoo. How about you?
Are you?
I guess.
Are you?
I guess.
Yeah, me too.
All right, let's do it. Cuckoo.
Cuckoo.
Was rated R. It has a runtime of 1 hour and 42 minutes. It was written and directed by Tilman Singer. You may know him from the movie Lose, which came out a couple years ago. It stars Hunter Schafer, Dan Stevens, and Marton Csokas. It premiered at the Berlin International Film Festival February 16th of 2024. It was released in the US August 9th of 2024. On Rotten Tomatoes, it is 78% fresh with critics and 58% fresh with audiences. And it is available currently on Hulu and Disney+.
58%, huh?
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. What is this about? This movie has a teenage protagonist. Her name is Gretchen. She's 17 years old, played by Hunter Schafer. She is sent to live with her father and his new family in the German Alps after the death of her mother. Her father and her stepmom work for this guy, Herr Konig, played by Dan Stevens, who has sent for them to stay near the resort they designed for him. And he takes a weird interest in Gretchen and her half-sister Alma, who is mute. So Gretchen gets a job working at the hotel that her parents designed, and she notices that some of the female guests are exhibiting weird behaviors, throwing up, being unresponsive, and she gets sucked into this mystery. So without revealing too much, that is the plot. It's kind of a teen angsty movie.
You know what? If I heard that plot, I'd be so excited to see this movie.
You think I should describe it differently?
No, it just doesn't land for me.
It didn't land for me either, babe. Tell me more about why it didn't land for you.
I don't know. We were 75% of the way through the movie before I even kind of understood what was going on. To be fair, audience, we watched it twice.
We did watch it twice. I still don't have a great handle.
We're still grasping at straws here.
We were talking about it at dinner and trying to hash it out still. The plot is all over the place and it does not make sense. And we both expressed before on this podcast, and Kay in this very episode, that we don't like to have our hands held. We like figuring things out, but it has to be discernible. It has to be able, you have to have something to figure out.
And there is a good amount of dialogue, which I noticed today, of them trying to show you the cuckoo aspect of it.
Yeah.
The bird aspect of it. But it still is almost there, but not there.
Right.
Yes, do I understand that there is, a host parent?
Well, don't tell him what there is the cuckoo from the title plays into what's going on, the reveal. Because cuckoos, as birds, do something strange.
Cuckoo.
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 Sorry, go on.
I very much liked the acting of Gretchen.
Yes.
It's hard to watch her just get pummeled through the whole movie.
She gets the shit beat out of her in this.
So many times. Every time you see her, she's got a different, first it's a cut on the head, then it's a slam on the head, then it is the breaking of an arm, and then it is the legs not being able to work. And it's just every time you see her, she has more injuries.
Yeah. And it's funny because they've even taken the bandage on her head and made it part of the cover art. With the blood from her head bandage spelling cuckoo and the actors and actresses' names.
And her dad, her only surviving parent, could not care less.
No.
She's like, please stay with me in the hospital. He's like, I gotta go home. Your stepmom's dealing with the other kid.
You're upsetting
I gotta go.
her. Yeah.
I just gotta go.
Someone in this movie literally says, "It's your fault what's happened to your sister, Gretchen."
We both picked up our phone to write that down.
Yeah.
It's your fault.
It's your fault, Gretchen. Yeah. I think the acting is good. I think that Hunter Schafer is really good and believable and good at both, because there's a lot of things in this that are kind of funny as well.
Yeah.
I think that she handles the emotional stuff and shows us her loneliness, her aggravation, all of that really well. And she also delivers the comic line readings really well too. I think Dan Stevens is really good in it. He's not as campy as he has been in other things, but he's fun and he does a fun German accent. For me, I just think the subject matter is so campy and ridiculous that the movie should have gone
Leaned into it.
full camp.
Yeah.
Full outrageous. To try and have a serious movie, a movie that takes itself seriously about this stuff with a flute playing bad guy, a flute playing German accented bad guy. I don't know. I just think that they should have gone full camp with this, and it was a mistake that they didn't.
The amount of vaginal secretion itself. Like, you
Right.
can't do this with a straight face.
No.
It's ridiculous. Like, if Gretchen was the only one that was being played straight, that would make sense to me, because she is deep in grief. She is a fish out of water. It's a coming of age story.
Right.
There's so many things that would make her be
Angsty.
drawn into
Yeah.
herself and hate, you know, the surroundings that she's in.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But then dad and stepmom should have been camp.
Yeah.
Coworkers should have been camp. Like,
Everything should have been tuned up
Right.
to match the plot line, which was fucking ridiculous.
yeah, to have everyone play straight and then have all this ridiculous shit happening around them.
Yeah, it didn't work.
It was
for
a
me.
miss.
I think that the director has a lot of style. With his first movie, Loose, it was all style, and there was nothing. I watched it 3 times and fell asleep every single time. I could not get into it. It had a lovely look, but there was really no plot. And I'm okay with things that just look pretty and don't have much plot, but
Right.
it has
You're
to have.
dating me, after all.
It has to have something to hold it up. And it didn't have anything other than a nice look.
Right.
And this, to me, also has a nice style and a pretty look and really nice buildings. And there's also a really nice scene where Gretchen is riding her bike and there's shadows.
Oh, you love that.
I
Yeah.
really liked that. The shadows are following, the shadow is kind of out in front of her so she can see it. And there's someone chasing her and you see that shadow come up. It was a really cool scene because you can only see it as she goes under streetlights.
Yeah.
So that was really neat. Like he's not bad, and he's not bad really with like timing either.
No.
There was fine momentum throughout the movie, stuff like that. It's just the story. I think that he's written both of these movies that he's made. I think that he should try to adapt somebody else's material. I think that would be a better route for this guy, personally.
Yeah. I mean, rude, but yeah.
I know. There was just a lot of stuff in here that didn't, plot-wise, it didn't coalesce. It felt like they didn't have the whole idea perfectly figured out in their head before they made it. There was stuff that just didn't ever get explained.
Characters that didn't get explained.
Yeah.
There was full characters that I'm just like, who the fuck are you?
Right. Yeah. So we watched it twice and we went on Wikipedia, and there are still things about the plot that I'm not totally sure of. There was some really bad head stapling in this where there's no way that wound was going to close.
It was not tight enough.
No! Is that how they do things in Germany?
Good enough.
I guess.
Good enough.
Das ist gut.
I do know that they tend to staple head wounds more than suturing them, just because there's not enough skin to be pulled together.
Oh, is that right?
But I'm talking out of my ass. I'm saying this like I know this, but I have known a bunch of people that got staples in their head.
I have too.
And I assume it is because there's not enough skin to pull together for sutures. I don't know that. I'm not a doctor. Stop listening to this podcast for doctor information. Stop it. But yeah, that was not tight enough
I wouldn't
for
think
it to
so.
close.
No.
Especially when he goes into this whole thing of, oh, is your body healing? Are you building more cells? Maybe you should go sleep in the room until you build all your cells back up. Oh.
Yeah. I'm trying to decide if I want to give this a 3 or a 2.5. I think I'm going to give it a 2.5.
There was no dong, but there was a lot of vaginal secretion. How many times can I say this?
I'm not giving it an extra half star for that. I was totally ready to take away a half star when they showed the dog, and I was like, oh, the dog's going to get killed. But then they just never showed it again.
The dog didn't get killed.
So, but at least they didn't kill it.
But what about the puddle of vaginal secretion on the floor?
What about it, babe? You want me to give it a 3 for that? You give it a 3.
I'm going to give it a 3.
Fine, I'm giving it a 2.5. Do you recommend people see this?
No.
Okay.
Miss it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Skip it.
I think that...
You'll have more questions than you have answers.
Yeah, I think so. In keeping with our tradition on this program of if you do not recommend a movie, recommend something instead, I am going to say...
Amy has 9, so I just said I'll defer to you.
Yes. If the subject matter deserved a campier movie, which I think it did, I would recommend something like Malignant, which came out a couple years ago, or The Perfection. They're both Netflix, I think, Netflix movies. And they're both really weird plots with suitably unhinged movies created as a result. So those are 2 that I wanted this movie to be more like those. If you are looking for a straightforward movie about teens feeling unwelcome in their family, displaced, angsty, I would recommend the Philippou Brothers movies, Bring Her Back or Talk to Me. Those do a really good job with that. I would also recommend Thelma, Joachim Trier's Thelma, which we reviewed. No, not that one.
No, stop it.
Which we reviewed on the podcast. Piggy, which we reviewed on the podcast. I would also recommend Ginger Snaps, although I'm assuming you probably listeners already know about Ginger Snaps, but that's a good coming-of-age teen angsty werewolf movie. Hatching from 2022 has sort of similar subject matter to this, but I thought was better. Or if you want more Dan Stevens, because why wouldn't you, I would say watch The Guest.
Baby, what was the Ginger Snaps one about?
Werewolves. Oh, you're making fun of me because of how I say wolves.
Werewolves.
Dick woof. Do 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 do. All right, I think we should talk about spoilers here.
Let's get into the spoilers as we understand them.
Yes, we'll tell you what happens in this movie as we've sort of figured it out and consulted Wikipedia. So, the cuckoo bird. Cuckoo is a brood parasite, which means they put their eggs in other birds' nests and let them raise their young. And that is why Cuckoo is like the name of the movie, and also like the bird on the hotel keys for this resort and the symbol of this resort, because
it's also in his Jeep, the German man's Jeep.
Okay.
He loves the cuckoo.
Right, because he's some kind of environmentalist or something, and he has found this weird species of creature who inseminates with vaginal fluid another woman with their egg.
Yeah, there's an egg supposed to be in that secretion that
it looked like just clear nothing.
That she cups from inside of her vagina, yeah.
So evidently, he, with this resort, facilitates these adult creatures inseminating women and then keeps track of them, I guess, so that when their children are older, then they're put back in contact with the biological mother.
Right.
Which is what has happened. The host mother... Or no, the host mother is the one that carries it.
Takes care of them for X amount of time. And then when they reunite the baby with the biological mother, then it grows exponentially. Like, if that baby, the 8-year-old, did end up seeing Mother, blonde wig with the crazy eyes,
Yeah.
then she would have also in turn
Matured.
become a mother. Yes.
Okay, so Gretchen's 8-year-old sister, when her dad and her stepmom had their honeymoon, they went to this resort that they had just designed, and that is when...
And they conceived more than just the design.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
And Gretchen said, "Shut up. Stop it.
This is gross. Why does no one else realize how weird this is?
Sir, German sir, stop."
Yeah. So that's why they've been called back. There's also, they also seem to be doing something to the stepmom at the same time. She's like getting sick. I don't know if they're just doing that to keep her out of the way.
I think that is more of the combating for the resources. So anyone that is not mother is going to die.
Because they're competing for resources with their offspring.
Right.
So also there's women that are just randomly like barfing and then disappearing in the place. And we don't know if that's something like they've been inseminated or what. Because then Gretchen later throws up and she hasn't been inseminated. So
Yeah, she fully had her genes on when Mother was trying to goop her.
right.
So I don't know.
Also, why the wigs?
I think it was supposed to give her more like a
motherly look?
No, a bird-like look without the wig. I don't know why they put. I don't know.
Why? Why did he have all those wigs?
So many wigs.
Why?
And do they each have their own specific wig? Because once Gretchen killed Mother, she threw the wig out in that library scene.
Yeah.
And then he finally did believe
That she had killed her.
that she killed her. So each one of the creatures have their own wig? I don't know.
Why do they need a wig? Why?
Because of their little bird heads, I guess.
I don't know. Underneath they look like Aunt Gladys's head.
Ricky, you got some explaining to do.
So Gretchen catches on to this with the help of a police officer whose wife was killed there because she choked on her vomit.
I do believe that Eric is the redhead's boyfriend. Whatever the detective's name was. I believe that his wife is Mother. Because I think that's the same dress that they were showing in the flashback of her vomiting.
Is it?
Quote unquote choking.
So they just told him that his wife was killed.
And he's the only one that can see that blonde lady and that believes Gretchen. I don't know.
I don't know, guys.
I don't know.
I don't know. We tried.
We watched it twice.
So, whatever. Gretchen...
Whatever.
There's also the fact that the creature makes this noise.
I liked the noise. I liked the noise throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, the noise was cool. She makes this noise that makes people... If you're looking at it from the outside, they just freeze. But if you're experiencing it, it feels like time is looping for you. And I guess it's a way to disorient so that you can...
So she can inseminate.
But it also is like it calls to her offspring.
Right. And
or
that's where
triggers the growth, and it makes the little girl's ears twitch.
Twitchy ears.
And this little boop, 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 boop happen in her chest. Or her like clavicle area. And also there's a flute that Herr Konig plays, which calls to the creatures.
I don't know.
So anyway, all this shit happens to Gretchen. She hooks up with this woman at the hotel, and then they get in an accident, and she's further fucked up, and then they sell the mom's house out from under her. She's upset about that, and then she wakes up, and her family is gone, and Herr Konig is there and says, they're at the hospital. You want to run away, I'll help you. Let me take you to get you some money and all whatever. And she believes him, which is crazy. And then he takes her to the house and he's going to kill her. And he also has the cop there and is going to kill the cop because they know too much. And he does this little thing with one of the creatures where it's going to inseminate Gretchen. Then he's like, that's enough for now. For no reason. And then the cop ends up getting away, and they have like a gun standoff, the two of them, where they're shooting at each other. And meanwhile, the mother is coming after Alma, who is in the hospital, and Gretchen gets her and has to pretend like she's going to stab her, or else the mother will attack them or do whatever she's going to do, kill Gretchen and take the baby.
Right.
And so she has to convince the baby that she's not going to hurt her. And she uses the baby as kind of a shield, which I thought was clever. Where she comes out and the cop promised he wouldn't hurt her, but wants to kill the baby because she's a monster. And Dan Stevens wants to kill Gretchen, but not the baby. So she walks out where they're facing, where they can't shoot either of them because they're against each other.
Right.
Which was smart. And then the baby, because she was like, the cop was like, well, you know she's just a monster. And she's like, I don't think she is. I think she's going to be fine.
She's not, yeah.
But then she's trying to get out of there, and they've got guns pointed, and the baby covers her ears and makes the monster noise so that the guys are incapacitated so she can leave.
That was the most effective part of the whole movie for me.
Yeah.
The sisterly love of, like, I mean, the whole time, you don't get to see a lot inside of Alma's thought process because she's mute. Everything that is being conveyed is through sign language that you are reading at the bottom, and it's all super slowed down and very, like, you know, very infantile conversation of just like, these are the few words that I know how to speak to you, because Gretchen just moved in with them.
Yeah.
So you don't really have a lot of relationship between them, but you did get a message on the voicemail from the daughter who's using this like talk to text app, saying to Gretchen's mom, who she doesn't know is dead, like, your daughter is trying to contact you and she's really sad, and I'd really appreciate it if you would call her. It would mean so much to her. And so, like, there's a really strong bond between the sisters that finally gets to grow. And that's her covering her sister's ears while she uses the creature noise to, you know, suspend the time so that they can escape and the men can kill each other, whatever.
Yeah.
That was the most effective part of the whole movie for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, finally, I got some characterization. Yeah. Finally.
That and the message were the two best written parts.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
But then you get into the car and you see the little baby's ears twitching, and you're just like, well, fuck.
Maybe she'll still be okay.
Yeah, maybe she...
Maybe without the mother.
Without mother... But she's going to become mother.
Maybe. But maybe not, because she didn't have all the whatever. She didn't get rapidly developed or whatever was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know, listeners. Honestly, if you got a better reading of this than we did...
Please tell us.
I would love some help.
We've just been going round and round in circles.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is what we think about Cuckoo.
Is it?
I was disappointed.
I don't know.
I was quite disappointed. But the acting was good.
The acting
from
was
the two
good.
leads. And the little girl was cute.
The little girl was adorable. We got a little something. The best friend had some ridiculous outfits, and I loved that.
Yeah. Yeah. The girl who worked at the hotel with her?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What happened to her? Nothing. We don't see her again.
No, we see her. She's married to Eric. Or she's dating Eric, who is the actual police.
Who's in on it.
Yeah.
Who ends up getting killed. But we don't know what happens to her. He was gonna...
She was
ordered to be inseminated.
Drying her hair.
Yeah. And they were gonna inseminate her next.
She probably gets killed.
With the vaginal goo.
Yeah.
It's that vaginal goo.
Cuckoo.
Cuckoo.
Vag glue.
Let us know what you think about Cuckoo, listeners. We'd love to hear it. What have you been reading, honey? Anything good?
Oh, yeah.
While you're looking, I will tell listeners that I have been reading a book called The Ceremonies by T.E.D. Klein. And I'm really enjoying it. I'm about halfway through. And it is got all the stuff that I like in it. A weird small town, a weird religious sect, and strange rituals and ancient prophecies and shit like that. I really enjoy that kind of thing. I'm enjoying it very much. There's a lot of folklore involved in it. I also wanted to mention that recently I had read a short story by Arthur Machen called The White People, which I found really creepy and really neat and a really good bit of folk horror. And I wanted to mention it before on the podcast, but kept forgetting. And then I started reading this book, The Ceremonies, and to my surprise, it features the white people really prominently as kind of an inciting moment in the book. So I was really excited about that. So I'm really enjoying that book. And that's what I'm reading right now.
And for me, I've been getting into this author named Ryan LaSala. I read The Dead of Summer and also The Honeys by the same author. Both are very queer focused, and I love that. But one is about zombies and one is about this weird, like, bee tribe. Anyways, they're both like, I don't know, almost YA, but in the way that they're just like very happy to go into, this is ridiculous. Like, yeah, I don't know, we're at a summer camp where everyone's super rich, but these bees are actually taking over and getting into people's minds, and you can only tell when a bee comes out of their actual brain. I don't know, whatever. It's all great. The mystery is good. He giveth and he taketh away. You think you're going to get like a love story, and then that's dashed, but then it's the friendship you made along the way. It's really wonderful. You should definitely read them.
And what were they called again? The Honeys?
The Honeys and The Dead of Summer.
Okay. And you said that this author has written a good amount of books. That one of them was going to be a series, right?
It sounds like The Dead of Summer is the first of a series,
okay.
But I don't know when the next ones are coming out. The way that they end it, it's definitely a cliffhanger and going to go into the next book for sure. But that one's, it's just lovely. Like, he is this kid who has perfect pitch, and so music plays a lot into it, and the way that he perceives the world because of his musical background. I just love that part too, because I'm a theater kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those sound fun.
Yeah.
Very good. Listeners, let us know what you have been reading. And please suggest books for us. We're always looking for new books, especially if they're on Hoopla or Libby. Because we use those a lot.
Fuck Libby.
I know, Libby's almost nothing is ever available on there. So, listeners, have you reviewed our podcast yet? Would you? For the love of God.
Jesus Christ, you're getting Amy mad.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Oh God, the riled face.
I didn't think these brows could scrunch any more than they already are. Permanently scrunched. Please give us a review if you have not already. If you would like to contact us, you may email us at thebloodlustpodcast@gmail.com. You can comment on our website, thebloodlust.net. Just to remind you, only 100 episodes are available on your stream, like on your Apple Podcasts or your Spotify or whatever. But if you go on our website, thebloodlust.net, you can see and listen to every episode that we've done, including all of our TV recaps. And you can follow us on Facebook and on Instagram and Threads.
Hail Satan.
Not yet, babe.
Oh.
We're almost there. Hail Santa Claus. Or no, it was Hail Saint Nick.
Hail Saint Nick! Hark hear the bells, sweet summer bells.
Thank you for joining me, babe.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching all these movies with me all the time.
We're 45 minutes into my bedtime.
I know it. I appreciate you.
A late record.
Thank you, listeners, for listening. Until next time, this has been episode 286. I've been Amy.
And I'm Kay.
Thank you. Good night.
And hail
Saint Nick.
Saint Nick.